Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. This is the Microtech Cypher. It's a discontinued knife. Comes in several different blade shapes. We've got the Wharncliffe version here with the hole, which I believe is the MK7. The dagger blade's the MK6. You've got katana blade, which I think is probably my favorite version. But this is a discontinued knife. We're going to go ahead and go through some size comparisons, then we'll get into the good and the bad. So first, some size comparisons. Let's start with some, let's start with the Spydercos here. The Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3, which are good size references. So you can see this is a very large out-the-front knife. Here is a Benchmade Super Freak and a Spyderco Native Chief, which is also a very large knife. Here is a Spyderco Endura. Sorry, guys. Okay, and we're going to go through a couple size comparisons specifically of some out the fronts. So here is the Microtech Ultratech. You can see how much bigger it is than the Ultratech. Here is the Benchmade Infidel. Here is the Microtech Dirac Delta, the larger brother to the regular Dirac. Here is the Microtech Scarab 2. So again, you can see that the Cypher is a very large knife. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the good and the bad. So the good on this knife right away is the action. The action is very nice, you know, of course, if you can actuate it. This is one of those Microtechs that will require some thumb dexterity in order to actuate. So if you're new to Microtechs, have never had out the fronts before, you know, you hand this to somebody, a lot of times people are going to have some trouble with the actuator. So handle one in a store if you can, or at least, you know, try to do a transaction in person since they may only be available on the secondary if you can before you buy. And I'll cover some more of that in the bad, but in general, the action itself, if you can actuate it, is very, very nice. This hits fairly hard. It doesn't hit quite as hard as the Scarab here, which hits amazingly hard, but it does hit significantly harder than the Infidel, and it hits significantly harder than the Ultratech, and it even hits harder than the Dirac Delta. So if you are looking for something that is, you know, nice and slim like this, not quite as thick, as you can see as the Scarab is, this is a Scarab here, then you know, this is going to be a good option for you because it has that nice action in this slim profile. Next is going to be the slim profile itself. Does work very well for the knife. This comes in a couple different body styles. I forgot the names of them, but there's one that's called Steps, which looks like steps going up both sides, up and down both sides of it. This is not that version, but this, I should mention also this is a limited edition, and all the limited editions came with, you know, same color hardware and blade. Or some of them would be black hardware with the colored blade as well. So, and it came in a couple different color blades. I think there was a red one, a blue one, and this tan one for the limited editions, and there's a bunch of different versions. In any event, next thing on the good is going to be the blade itself. I think looks awesome. It's useful. It has a really decent grind for an out the front, and it just looks really cool. You know, it's also going to be high-end steel. I forgot exactly what steel this one was. They come in all different steels. Generally, all the blades from Microtech that are out the fronts come in M390, 204P, you know, LMAX. They usually come in some combination. I shouldn't say combination, but some variant of those steels, all of which are fantastic steels, well-balanced steels. They generally just use what they have on hand, and they cycle through them based on their batches. So that's the next thing that's good on this. That pretty much covers the good, you know, on this. It does cut very well, by the way. Oh, actually, there's one other thing, is the jimping on here is actually pretty excellent. It's not aggressive. It does keep your finger there. And the ergonomics on the choke up here work extremely well for slicing things like boxes and things like that. So this is a great knife for that if you're doing a lot of breaking down of boxes and you want an OTF. Very nice knife for that. So that's great. Next, we're going to talk about the ergonomics. So the ergonomics on this are good, but not great. I would say they're probably a 6.5 to 7 out of 10, mainly because you have a straight body here, but also because, you know, as huge as this is, I have size large gloved hands. You can see how they fit in the hands. Generally, when you actuate it, your hands are going to be back here. Then you've got to walk all the way up here to a point where your hand is close enough and your finger goes on the jimping, and now you're locked into a position where you can really start to use the knife. It does feel a little awkward to hold it back here and use it. You feel very far away from the blade. So you really kind of do need to walk it up, and there's not really much of an option. You know, you feel very awkward coming all the way back here if you start your hand up. So that's going to be a drawback on this as well. The biggest drawback on this is going to be that clip. This clip is one of the worst clips I've ever had on any knife, period, not just OTFs. It is extremely tight. It is the tension on here is insane. It does not go in and out of the pocket easily at all. It requires two hands to get it in, and even with two hands, it is a huge struggle. This clip is basically what you picture, getting this clip into the pocket is like what you picture in infomercial late at night, you know, the bumbling fool that, you know, does this keep happening to you? The person trying to accomplish whatever product they're selling, and they need that product in order to do it. This is essentially the clip that's in those videos. It essentially, any clip would be better than this. So, you know, the solution to those infomercial, you know, idiocy would be any clip. It's just, it's insane how bad this clip is. Totally ruins the knife for me. So that's bad. Next on this is, this does take quite a bit of finger strength to actuate. When you do hand it to people, especially non-knife people, they have a lot of trouble opening this. Even knife people do. I see people walk into stores who carry a knife, and they go over to the case, they open up a case, try to actuate this, and have lots of trouble. You know, I've seen that a couple times. In fact, it happened to me one time when I, you know, first got this. I walked into the store and, you know, had that same sensation of, damn, I can get it out, but damn, it's so hard to pull it back. You know, it took a little thumb dexterity being built up to get that done. And, you know, I used to wrestle, so I actually had pretty good grip strength in my hands, and it was still a struggle at first. You know, the action wears in over time and it gets better, but, you know, if that's a concern for you, it's something to be aware of. My overall thoughts on this, and I know I rambled a little bit here, my overall thoughts on this are, I don't recommend it. Not because it isn't a good knife. It actually, I quite enjoy the knife. I don't recommend it mainly because of that clip. This clip is so bad that it ruins the entire knife, and it makes it, unless you're just carrying it not on your pocket, not as if it didn't have a clip, you know, then that's fine. But if you plan to carry it on your pocket, do not buy this knife. Get something else. You know, just something to be aware of. It's just, it's that bad. So I don't recommend this, but you know, it is Microtech quality, and you know, overall, minus the clip, it's a good knife that I would have recommended if not for the clip. So one more thing on this is the price on these were about $540, I think originally. They're going on the secondary market. They fluctuated on the secondary market anywhere from like $350 up to $550. You know, and the katanas are going for a little bit more because they're a little bit more rare. So, you know, the market's all over the place on these. I would say if you're going to buy one, try to catch one on the lower $400 end before you buy it. Thanks so much.